Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Darkest Dungeon Hero Spotlight. Today's Hero Spotlight is going to be about the Jester. When utilized properly, the Jester can become a very powerful asset and addition to many different parties. The Jester's strengths are a very high crit rate thanks to his base crit chance and a very high crit rate on his skills. He has a versatile skill set allowing for different playstyle depending on the party composition. He can be a support, a bleed inducer with Slice Off and Harvest, or a mobile damage dealer with Dirk Stab, Finale, and Solo. And of course the support skills are Battle Ballad and Inspiring Tune. He has an extremely high dodge stat which allows him to avoid many attacks. And he has some of the best camping skills for stress reduction in the game. Noteworthy skills are Turn Back Time, Every Rose Has Its Thorn, and Tiger's Eye. Tiger's Eye is an offensive ability, but it's still a very, very powerful ability when used on some characters, such as the Leper or any other characters that need additional accuracy. And the 5% crit is no laughing matter. The Jester's weaknesses are an extremely small health pool. So you need to remember that even though he has very high dodge stat, one big crit that connects on the Jester could lead to some very, very low health. So you generally want to make sure that you have some way to recover from that, be it another healer, someone to guard him, or a way to get him out of harm's way if you know which abilities the enemy can use to target which positions. Also, if need be, just bring lots and lots of food. The Jester is also one of the more mediocre damage dealers. If used for sheer damage, his damage output relies on crits to have a major impact in a fight. There are far superior characters such as the Hellion, the Abomination, and the Crusader, to name just a few of the melee characters, that deal far more damage than the Jester. The Jester's main role is mostly to crit during fights in order to recover some additional stress during combat, as well as be a character that welcomes being moved around, as Jester really is not heavily affected by it. For more reliable damage, you may want to consider using Harvest and Slice Off rather than, say, Dirk Stab and Finale. Though Finale is a very, very powerful skill, but unfortunately it also comes with a very significant debuff. As a result of the overall skill set of the Jester, generally speaking, the Jester would prefer to be in position 3, where he has access to both Battle Ballad and Inspiring Tune, and then any of the assortments of skills that you decide to use on him. Generally speaking, you may want to consider having Slice Off or Harvest, or a combination of Slice Off or Harvest alongside Dirk Stab or Finale. Solo can also be used in tandem with Finale in order to allow a scenario where where the Jester's party gets shuffled and the Jester gets thrown to, say, position 3. You can use then Solo or Dirk Stab in order to move him to position 1, which then enables the Jester to use Finale in the next turn. Especially if using Solo, which gives him a speed debuff, the Jester is essentially guaranteed to go first in the next round. So by spending the first round using Solo to move to the front, the next round you get to use Finale right out of the gate, and sending him to the back while dealing very significant damage. This will then allow him to be in position 4, generally speaking safe for most physical attacks, which then will allow him to use Battle Ballad and Inspiring Tune to your heart's content. Noteworthy trinkets are... unfortunately I don't have it, but Bright Tambourine is probably one of the most powerful trinkets in the game, considering that it, if I recall, increases stress healing by 25%, gives the Jester 25% stress reduction in 75 light or higher, and I think that's it, just those two. Yeah, I think that's it. And Bright Tambourine also comes with a debuff where if the light level is below 51, instead of receiving a 25% stress reduction on the Jester, you end up taking an additional 25% stress damage. So the Bright Tambourine is clearly a light run trinket. Other trinkets are surgical gloves. If you're going for a crit Jester, you could get surgical gloves, which give him increased crit chance. Dark Bracer, if you're going for a dark run, which again will give him additional crit chance. Ancestor's Pen, let me find it, which gives additional crit chance and again increases physical damage, the damage on melee abilities. And also, sorry, I'm going off of a little list here on the side. And if you're going for a dark run, you can also consider taking a Dark Tambourine, which gives a very significant stress damage reduction, as well as hefty 12% death blow resist, which is always very nice. If you're going for a support Jester, my personal recommendation, if you're going in a light run, is to grab the Bright Tambourine, and then maybe take the Ancestor's Map or Ancestor's Scroll, which would allow the Jester to be really fulfilling that support role by being able to buff, stress heal, and also give the team additional trap disarm and scouting chance, which would allow you to essentially have greater advantage in non-combat scenarios, such as scouting rooms. Another option is, of course, to give him the Ancestor's Coat or Camouflage Cloak, which would give him additional dodge, really banking on that already very high dodge rate. Some party compositions and good synergies with the Jester are, of course, anything that results with generally an increase in stress damage taken. So dark runs, the Jester makes a very good companion for with his stress healing. And of course, the best friend of the Jester is the Abomination. Combined with the Abomination, the Jester can help mitigate a very significant portion of the stress damage caused by the Abomination, while also giving the party some buffs or some additional damage here and there, and really essentially bank on that high damage, high stress scenario caused by the Abomination. Other compositions could be any bleed plus blight oriented compositions, so the Jester would make great friends with the Houndmasters, Plague Doctors, Hellions, and also another fun party composition that you could try is a dodge-oriented composition. So compositions oriented around Men-at-Arms with all of their dodge buffs, Grave Robbers, and Houndmasters. You can essentially avoid 80% of all attacks on the entire party with all those dodge buffs that you can essentially do. So just again as a wrap up, I personally think that the Jester makes for a very powerful primary support character and also secondary damage dealer. If you're looking for an additional damage dealer in your party and you already are confident in your party's sustainability, then the Jester may not be the right addition if you are looking for damage. But if you need someone that can help buff your party and make the rest of the party members more proficient in battle and also mitigate stress, the Jester may be just who you're looking for. Well, that wraps up this video. Thank you guys very much for checking it out, and let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, please follow, like, and subscribe. Until then, have a good one.